So, y'all, welcome to another episode where Jonathan hacks for his life of.
Not hacking. RyCanTopMyKnee.
รายการต่อไปนี้
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jonathan, and we are a boys love podcast that talks about all our favorite shows and all the press and mess around them.
And Jonathan, I'm so sorry that you're not feeling well. I know last week we mentioned honey as lubricant. Did you lubricate your throat with honey, your thrusy, your
Not
deep
my
mouth hole?
thrusty. Ew.
Did you go ahead and lubricate it? Because you need to get better.
I know. I'm a little under the weather, y'all, but I have been drinking that tea. I have my
Yes.
agave, not honey, but like agave.
That's right. Your house is vegan, so
This
that's
household
true.
is, yeah. I try
Yeah.
my best.
Yeah. Well, we're good. So this episode, we'll see how long it gets, but we're not going to try to be too long because Jonathan needs to go take another nap number 5 of the day. So,
honestly.
so let's get to word on the tweet.
Okay, word on the tweet, y'all. We gotta start off kind of sad.
Oh.
So like over the weekend, fourth, from Gemini 4th, his father passed away.
Oh.
I know it's very sad. I know
That
he's
is
been
very
like,
sad. And he's been so
praying.
busy.
Yeah, he's been so busy the past like 2 months. So I
Mm.
know, he's going through a lot right now. So our hearts go out to him and his family.
Did they say how his dad passed
I
or
don't
what
think
he
they
passed
did,
from?
but I think he's been like kind of sick for a while. I think I saw some
Oh.
people post that, Fourth has always been like wishing and praying for his father's health. So maybe it was something ongoing, It wasn't too sudden,
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but still, that is really sad. So definitely our deepest condolences to Forth and his family. That is a lot. So hopefully whatever you have for us next is on a lighter.
I know, yeah, to quickly switch tunes.
Mm-hmm.
So also, like just today, I just saw this today again. I know for like the past like 3 months now, people have been like
Mm-hmm.
popping up with news about, oh, the only one season 2 is canceled. There's been like, or there's like a change of management, or there's new actors, or
Mm-hmm.
so I still don't know. So audience, let us know. Like, is the only one season 2 canceled? Is it real that there's just no funding?
That would be
This
devastating
is
because the
so
story is not complete.
yeah, we keep getting these like amazing shows that don't get a season 2, that deserve a season 2, that
Right.
don't get one.
I think we're gonna have to start getting people to really just contain everything into one season.
Or they need to start crowdfunding and put it up on Kickstarter.
Yeah,
I'll donate.
right
I want to
away.
see this.
Yeah, because the only one I feel as if, where it sounds as if we may not get the second season, which would be tragic.
Just like Stay With Me, we never got a second
Well, Stay With Me,
season.
we kind of knew it wasn't going to happen based on it being made in China.
I know, but it was
Um,
so good.
it's such a great show, but with this one, the only one, it's a little bit of a surprise because it's a Taiwanese show and
Yeah,
they
and
don't have a lot of those issues when it comes to regulations. So clearly it has to be financial.
this is, yeah, purely financial, purely
Yeah.
like we do not got the funds. Like y'all enjoyed it, but yeah, that's where it's like, is it something that like interfans are really enjoying something, but like locally it's just not doing well? Because I know that also happens in
It could
Thailand
be.
too.
Yeah, it could be that maybe. And honestly, I would say a lot of my Taiwanese friends, um, none of them really watch BLs, let alone Taiwanese shows.
Mm,
Like they tend to, if they're gonna watch a show in Mandarin, oddly enough, they would watch a show from mainland China
mm.
over a show from Taiwan.
Ah, girl, what's going
Yeah, which is very
on?
interesting. So and I mean that's what they have told me, which is interesting. Not saying that, or they would rather watch a show from the US or Canada.
I see, I see. But then it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, and then even in America, like Netflix cancels so many things because they just put so much money into it, and then they're like, this is not the payoff we wanted, so canceled.
Or they do is they have a second season for a show that no one was watching.
Oh, that
But
too,
that's
that too.
Netflix. Yeah, but who knows?
Who
Anyway, what
knows?
else is
But
happening?
whew, let's see. Next thing, Paradise of Thorns. You know, we've been
Mm-hmm.
talking about this in the group chat with our BL baddies.
Yes, we have.
It's a Boss Kuno, directed film. It has Jeff Sauter in it. We've been talking about it before. I
Mm.
really want to see it. It just won Best Feature at an LGBT film festival in Poland. So
Ooh,
congrats! Oh my
wow.
god!
Congrats to them. Okay, we love an international accolade.
I
That is great.
know. I want to see this movie so bad. I know it's gonna be so sad. I'm gonna cry my little heart out. Ah.
You will. I might. And where can people watch the movie?
I think it's just not out like globally yet. Like it was
Oh, so it's
really
only
like,
like at in theaters in
yeah, it was in
certain.
theaters like a year ago in Asia, and so
Okay.
they still haven't like dropped it on Netflix yet. But it's probably on Netflix in Thailand.
Maybe. Or maybe
Um,
it's something that's only being shown in theaters or at film festivals for
yeah, our
now.
film festivals. Yeah, so I need to find a VPN and a Netflix
Yes.
subscription.
Or we can find this film in other ways.
Ooh, I know, but I want to see it like in HD 4K. You know,
Yes. Yeah, not in 360.
yeah, not in 360 with someone's mama moving in the background. Um, Remember the old days, those old bootlegs where you see
Yeah,
people like
the
moving
bootleg
around?
DVDs.
Yo.
I remember the bootleg VHS, but
Oh.
ooh, honey.
Oh,
Anyway, what else
honey.
is happening?
And then all right, so some like spicier news. Did you
Oh, I love
see?
spice. I love
Like
seasoning and
Songkran was
spice.
last weekend, and of
Yes, it
course people got
was.
some clips of everyone like hunching and munching on each other, right? Um,
Ooh.
and
Mm.
so there's been like a little clip going around of like Jimmy and Ohm, from Dumandi.
Okay, I was gonna say you got to
Jimmy
clarify
from
which Jimmy
yeah,
because there's a
Jimmy from
few.
previous like Jimmy Tommy, um,
Okay,
and his new partner Ohm. They're gonna be in the next Prince together.
and also you need to clarify which ohm because
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
not
There's a
there's
million
like
Ohms. I
five.
know. That's like talking about like a Nick in America. There's like a million Nicks,
Right.
but yeah, they were
Oh, I see
caught
what you did
kissing.
there.
Ooh.
I see what you did there.
They were caught kissing in during Songkran. And that started
Ooh.
like a whole like fan war online because people were like, "This is like an invasion of their privacy. What is going on?"
Mm.
But like Ohm had to like put out a statement being like, "Hey, like the fan asked me personally if they can post this, and I gave them permission, but no one
Mm.
knew that, so they're obviously gonna like jump to like defend the actor and be like, oh my god, people are posting your whole shit online, like what's going on?"
And he said
So
he wanted his whole
he
shit
said,
there.
I was feeling flirty and fun, and I let them post it, but yeah, and then he had to like ask them to delete it, but
Oh
it's
my
good that he
gosh.
gave like context and like backstory to
And
what
it seems like
happened,
he gave consent, so it seems like
yeah.
people overreacted
Yeah,
without
yeah, yeah.
having the full story.
But it's true.
Once
I mean,
again.
like some of these other couples, like yeah, people are all up in their face with these cameras. Like it's
Right.
kind of awkward. Like you want to have fun in public and get wet and wild, but you're standing next to you never know you're standing next to your number one fan that has their HD camera in your face as
Mm-hmm. Want
you're
to see all your wet and wild
as you're
and
getting
post it for
sloppy drunk.
everybody.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Sloppy and drunk.
sloppy and speaking of sloppy drunk,
Mm.
we have William and
Sloppy Slurpee.
Est that got a
Mm-hmm.
little maybe they got a little sloppy slurpy.
It seems like they did.
I mean, S always looks so like flirty drunk. It looks
He
so
just has that look on his
yeah.
face.
He gets so red and he gets so like I don't know. He gets very touchy. So they like had a press conference for some reason,
Mm.
and they talked about like William said that they like shared lip balm. You know,
Mm.
and you ever share lip balm with your friends by via lips, lip to lip?
No. No.
No, you never had a little extra
No.
and said, "Come here, BB."
No. I haven't even done that with either of my exes. Like,
Ooh.
let alone like not with a friend. If
You're
that
not trying to spread
happens
that
when I'm
mono.
in a certain country in a month, I'll let you know.
Hey, Yeah, you ever just you gotta if you got a little too much, you gotta share with the squad.
Well, with me, if
That's
I have
just
a little too much, I'm rubbing it in so these lips can stay succulent.
hey, well,
But
that's
that's
not
just
what they
me.
did.
That is not what they did. Clearly not.
And William said, "Let me spill some more tea." And he said, "I was walking through the bathroom, and he
Mm.
saw Hong and Nut, from Lycan, um, a little choop choop
Ooh.
as he was walking by.
Wait. Hold on.
I'm like, how is
Didn't
everyone
we?
kissing? What's going on?
Didn't we? Not just us, but many of people.
We
Didn't they
ship.
ship them
I know we
like
shipped
during
them.
Tamepo?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
And now they out here, were they okay? Did William describe if they were like tonguing or just like a little peck on the lips? Like,
Not
because there's a
tugging.
difference. They
I don't
were
know.
tonguing.
He did not go into specifics, but yeah, they were definitely. Maybe they shared a little. Maybe it was a sniff kiss. Maybe it was a
Yeah,
lip
and
lock.
that's nothing,
Maybe it
to
was a
be
little.
honest.
Hey, bro, I need a
A
top
bro
up on my lip
kiss.
balm too. Come here.
It was a bro kiss.
It
A
was
drunk
something.
kiss. Who knows?
All I know is
Anyway,
I need some of that. We out to Songkran next year? We out? Planning a trip?
we'll see.
RyCanTopMyKnee
Only
Many
the
in
only
Songkran?
only time will tell.
Only
If
time
we
will
hit
tell.
if we hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, we're definitely doing an international trip. So get into it,
Hey,
everybody.
get into it.
Um. Anyway, let's get into our shows of the week. Okay, Jonathan. Since you were passed out half of the day, what is your show this week?
I may have been passed out, but I still weirdly caught up on everything. Mostly.
Yeah, a lot of
Um,
stuff.
yeah, we had some new shows this week, so I did watch one of them. I saw My
Mm-hmm.
Stubborn, that new M Flow
Mm.
show that I was like low key dragging like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we were both because Flo has disappointed us regularly.
Yeah, I was just a
Regularly.
little hurt before, but again, I'm gonna try again with this show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, My Stubborn. It's another like office drama, which is like okay,
Okay.
one of a million right now, but
Yes.
it's so horny, like so horny, Kevin. Like I remember when we watched the
Oh,
trailer a couple weeks back, and we were like, "Damn, what is going on?"
right. Yeah, it was
Um,
very flirtatious.
it is softcore porn. The first 10 minutes of the episode is him like helping his friend, you know, choke the chicken
Oh
out
no,
in
not
public
chicken
too.
choking out in
Yeah,
public.
they're
You
out
know
in
what other
public and
show?
they're just
That is hilarious because with stashes and hearts. Sorry, y'all. This is a
not
spoiler for
stashes and
for
hearts.
this is a spoiler for episode 8. If you have not gotten that far, it's at episode 9 now. But in episode 8, someone took a video of the two mains sucking something and
Sucking.
posted it right, and it was out in public. But really, what he was doing, which is so weird, he was tasting
What?
the guy's smoothie, but he bent down in
Girl.
that way. And I'm like, Oxen Film is unserious.
Ain't no
Like,
one's
who drinks a
slurping
drink like
crotch
this?
smoothies. No, 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 no.
Who does
What in the
this?
alibi is that? No, 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 no,
Right.
no.
So anyway, so My Stubborn, they were not just choking the chicken, were they slurping the chicken too?
Oh, there was some slurp too in the episode. You gotta
Oh
watch. Like
wow.
it's a weird it looks like there's like a weird relationship between these two characters. So it's like
And
an
was it at
office
work
BL.
that they were doing this?
No, it's never at work. It's never at work.
Okay,
But
because I was
it
gonna
might as
say if
well
that was
be.
in the office out in public,
There
that's
I mean, watch next week. Watch it be in the office too. But
Jesus.
yeah, I don't
Mm-mm.
know. It's like P-Sorn and is like I don't know, this like really like hyper I don't know if he's like sexual, but he's very flirty. He's like coming on to this like intern named June? Is June
Okay.
or Jwin? It's like a
Or
weird
Dway. No, I'm playing.
I know. Yeah, yeah. He said like, "Oh, my name pronounced like is pronounced like Dwin," and I was like, "Okay." And they were all like, "Ooh, so exotic. What is that?" And he
Not
said, "Oh,
exotic.
it's handsome in Chinese." And Steven's like, "I don't know about that." And I was like, "Oh."
Uh,
And I was like, "All right. Well, the translations are always crazy on IT, so." I don't know what he
Right.
said. But yeah, there's this weird, I don't know, I'm gonna show you how to pleasure yourself kind of thing in this show.
Show you. He don't know how to do it himself.
No, it's a hands-on experience, Kevin. He's all up in there.
I mean, really, some of the things to pleasure yourself is pretty self-explanatory.
I don't. You never just had your your coworker jerk you off.
Well, no, well, let me say this. Never a coworker,
Uh,
but I will say this, that typically if you've never
Wild.
done it to yourself before, you figure it out because it's
No, no,
literally
no.
just taking your hand.
I know, but I don't know.
I guess he never what?
That's
Anywho,
what makes this a BL. That's what makes this a BL.
so I guess
And
my
I'm
question
here
to
for
you
the ride.
is for this episode, because it's an M Flow production,
Yeah, yeah.
how does it feel as if the show will actually give us something instead of not being waste of time, the
Oh,
series?
you know what? Time will tell. Cause like so far, I don't know. I enjoyed the first episode. It
mm,
wasn't too much of a drag. You know, there's probably like three other side couples, so
okay.
that might be,
That might muddy the story.
yeah, when you have to like juggle so many people.
Right.
But I mean, so far I'm enjoying it. We'll see. Maybe I'll drop it halfway through, or maybe I'll just enjoy for the ride. It doesn't have to be the best of
Yeah.
the best.
Right. I mean, I guess we'll find out. My show this week is Boys in Love, a GMM TV production that came out
Yes.
on Sunday. And I would say, you know what? It's not a bad start.
Oh, that
No,
doesn't
it's not
sound.
bad. I'm
Oh,
just saying, like, it's
it
kind
wasn't
of what you
good.
expect. Like, it's more of like it's getting into itself, and it needs another episode for it to really get its footing.
Okay,
But you
okay, okay.
know what the show is about just by watching the first episode.
It's high
Like,
school or college?
it's high school. The high school, actually, the principal got rid of the mandate for uniforms. So it's
Mm.
uniform optional.
Mm.
So you see the students wearing whatever clothes they want, and you have some of them who decide to continue wearing uniforms. Um, and the main couple is the smartest kid in the top class having to tutor a rich kid in the lowest class.
Mm.
And that kid does not want to learn, but they definitely have a thing for each other.
I
There's a
see.
side
And is that
couple
Mick and what's his face?
who
Is that rich? Is that super smart kid? Is that Mick? Is that Wynn's little brother? Plays that character?
Wynn's little brother is the one with the short hair, right? With the buzz cut.
Boy, you don't recognize his face? He looks like Wynn.
No.
Oh my god.
No. Because I mean there's three people with all the same haircut.
I
That
know, but
the
Wynn's
standard
little
one.
brother looks like him so much. I think
I
his
don't
name's
think
Shane in the show. Shane. Is it Shane?
Yeah, he's the one with the buzz cut.
Okay, okay, okay.
He doesn't look like he kind of looks like Wynn, but not exactly to me. And it could be because of the hair.
Maybe,
So,
maybe, maybe.
yeah. Um so yeah, he's the smart kid. There's the dumb one or the one who doesn't want to apply himself. And then
Mm.
there are two side couples. One of them has this guy Kim who was in My Love Mix Up,
Oh
playing a straight guy.
yes, yes, yes.
But he's
Chokun.
playing gay today.
I know. I liked
And
him in My Love Mits Up. He was really good in
I
that
did
show.
too. Yes, I did too. And uh the reason why I am motivated to watch the show is because Pod is back to being gay.
Yes,
And he's
it's
with
been years,
Papang.
years.
And I love to see these 30 somethings who are like teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much where this episode leaves off is they're forced to share an office.
Mm.
So, and they don't like each other. Well, Papang's character doesn't like Pod's character.
I mean, what's there not to like? Come on, man. Look at
It's
Pod. Look at
because I
Pod.
mean, it's because Papang's character is very, is too serious.
Okay,
And
okay.
like, let's just say you're getting
We're getting enemies to lovers. We're getting
let me say this. It's like putting a conservative
Oh,
Republican from 2001, so like a Bush era Republican,
oh my.
with a um maybe like an a squad liberal,
Okay, well, like
like that.
A Bernie stand.
Not Bernie, not that far, but more like and not like an AOC, but more like
Okay, a
oh,
Jill
I'm trying to
Stein. No.
not that. But the point is,
Okay,
you got
okay,
some
okay.
yeah, and I don't want to say like the current kind of conservatives because that's I don't think you would ever see that in a Thai series because that's
Mm-hmm.
like, a mess. But this is like
But
Bush
Pod
era
is good to
Republican.
like ruffle his feathers and get him to loosen up.
Yeah, like I think those it seems like all of these couples, like they're extremes of each other in
Mm.
some way. And I guess the goal is to find ways for them to meet somewhere in the middle, but then there's something electric that's just thrusting them together,
Not thrusting. It's the school uniforms. Everyone's letting loose, huh?
Literally. And at this rate, maybe holes might get loose too.
Hey, whoa, this is
Anywho,
high school. Whoa, whoa,
anyway, let's go to our shows that just ended. So two shows that ended. Well, one officially ended, which is Your Sky Bus, which is kind of the epilogue series to Your Sky.
whoa. Mm-hmm.
And it only had 3 episodes. I finished it. Jonathan has not.
I literally, yeah, I was like, oh, this show's gonna go on for a little bit. I can catch up. No,
It's only 3 episodes.
I thought it was
And
gonna be more than
honestly,
that. Did it need 3 episodes? Could have been a movie. Could have been a special.
um, hmm, how do I put this?
Oh, oh, you about to drag.
Um, I think so. I'm not gonna say it was bad because it wasn't
Okay,
bad.
okay. But is it like full?
However,
Is it
could have
like
we
fluff
dealt
central?
without it? It's just fluff, fluff. There's no real issues.
Oh,
And it's just, Tirak and Munfa just being like cute and all of
just like
that and showering each other with gifts. And it's like, okay, I guess, if you're a huge, 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 huge fan of the show, you'll
mm-hmm.
probably like this. But
But like not
honestly, was it
needed.
needed?
No.
No.
Okay,
Would
okay.
you would have survived without it? It is what it is. It's something that you could use to pass time when
Oh,
you're bored,
oh my.
and you'll be okay with it. And the word on the street was the sex scene was supposed to be like hot and heavy.
And it
No,
wasn't? Because
it
Kong is
was,
still like a baby in my mind. So I'm fine with that. I don't need to see him, getting rocked.
well, yeah, you didn't see either, nobody getting rocked. It was like shirts
Really?
off and
Even
then
the side
bloop, it
couple?
cut. Yeah. The side couple, was
I thought they're spicier.
I didn't see any spice from them. They didn't show us at least.
Oh, maybe did they not get any screen time?
They got some screen time, but the focus was Tirak and
On,
Munfa.
I see.
Yeah. So,
Well, maybe they could have waited for this to come out to kind of like give us something to chew on while we're waiting for their next Thomas Collins series.
right.
But they dropped
But
this a little too fast, maybe.
or maybe, I would have been fine with it just being one episode.
Ooh, yeah, they could have done the Me Mine Y route and like
Right.
made you pay, but like no one wants to
Right.
pay. It's like $15 for one episode.
Yeah. Or they could have just not even made it.
Oh, well, that's their big money maker right now. So Dumandi is
Yeah.
pushing them hard.
I guess so. I guess so. The other one that finished was Hearts. Well, okay, it actually finished like
This one is
a
like two
month
months
ago.
ago. I know.
Jonathan,
Hey,
Heartstrain,
hey,
Heartstain,
heart
excuse me,
stain, heart
is
strain.
yeah
Is it heart strain or heart stain?
is Heartstain, and
You
it's
know,
a Korean BL. It ended actually I want to say early March. Like it was a while ago.
it wasn't that
Um
many episodes. There was only 8 episodes, but I was
There were
just
8 episodes and they were
struggling
showing
through
two
them.
episodes a week.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So when it was airing. And Jonathan, you finally finished it. So it
I
ended for
did.
you, even though it's been
Yeah.
over for a little while.
And I have some thoughts and concerns.
Okay.
So, spoilers for
Okay.
this. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really didn't like it. I really didn't. Well,
Yeah, you said you didn't like it.
I enjoyed the first like 5 episodes, but like 6,
Mm.
7, and 8 just went all downhill from there. Like I was writing this on
Mm.
Discord. I was like, was this needed? They really rushed the like last act of this show, where it's like they're about to graduate. Um, Homeboy's like still iffy about, I forgot all their names. He's still
I
iffy
don't remember their
about.
names because the show ended a while ago,
I know,
Jonathan.
I know. Wait, let me pull up their names. Um, so we got Doa and the other guy, the taller guy. Well, anyways, so I don't know. It was a weird cut where they were like, you know what, we need to break up because I'm moving away, and you still don't like me because you haven't come to terms with like, I don't know, liking me or liking the teacher. And this teacher was irking me the whole show because I did not like the way the teacher was acting. And I saw other people were saying that online too, that this teacher was a little too flirty for his role, and it wasn't like that in the webtoon, in the manhwa. So
Mm.
it made it seem like the teacher like liked him in the end too, but like accepted that
But really, it
he.
was just favoritism.
Yeah, I was just, I don't know,
Hmm.
it felt weird. Like it was, I did not need this teacher in the show, but I understood that that is the plot of the
Well,
show.
I mean, the teacher
So
was a part of the
yeah,
plot,
yeah, yeah.
and I think maybe if the teacher did not, it was
If the
because the
teacher
teacher
wasn't
was on a
gay,
thin
if the teacher
line of
wasn't gay,
being.
maybe
Well, we don't know this
that
because we
teacher
still don't
was.
know who
That
this
teacher was a
teacher
queen.
married. And that's what I said. I need to see. We needed to see that wedding. That would
Yeah,
have
I don't.
solidified the show for me
Uh huh.
if we could have seen who this teacher was
Yeah,
marrying.
was this teacher an ally or was this teacher a part of the community too? And that's why he
Yeah.
really like connected with this one student and like Loki letting him on or didn't. I don't know. It was weird. It was weird.
Yeah, but
Um.
also it was like he was because I would say I didn't see it as flirting, but I did feel as if it could be interpreted as flirting. You
Yeah,
know what
like
I'm saying?
to this little boy that.
Because he's a little it's and it wasn't a creepy nice. He was just like a little too nice because of his favoritism. And
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
I was an impressionable 17, 18-year old and this 30-year-old man who is I find attractive and I really admire is treating me in this way, I could misinterpret that as this
Mm-hmm.
teacher has a thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where it comes into play. Like, as an educator, you got to make sure that you establish boundaries.
Big old boundaries. And he kind of
Like,
did, but it was only like when they met outside of school
right,
that one day. But even then, like
right,
he didn't even, he just like left when this dude confessed.
right. He wasn't clear. Like, it's almost if he got scared. And then that would make things even more awkward for me if I'm 17 or 18 years old, because it's like, well, now I don't have an answer. And then I'm gonna start making stuff up in my head, thinking, "Oh, maybe he left because he actually does like me, or maybe he really hates me, or
Or I don't
going
know,
through that
but
mental gymnastics."
yeah. And then in the
Yeah,
end, they did this whole like 4 year time jump because dude was like studying in Germany randomly.
right.
Um,
Because he
and
went to
then
study abroad. Yeah,
yeah, but then like they did the main character so dirty because he was just like, I'll wait for you kind of thing. Like he didn't the teacher was like, "Oh, like gave him weird advice of like, "Oh, you can either wait to confess after this dude comes back or
hmm
you can just like forget it. Like you forgot your feelings for me right now." And I was like, "Is that the best advice? I don't know."
I mean,
Cuz dude like
honestly, what else could he do? Oh, I
he
mean, the
can
third thing
say
he should have done was
this dude
actually
was
confess
asking,
before he left.
yeah,
Yeah,
he was like, "Tell me to stay. I'm waiting for you to tell me to stay." And he didn't. So
right.
then, like 4 years later, he is like, "Oh, I haven't changed, and I still love you," and they just kind of, uh, connected like nothing happened. And I was like, "That's a weird kind of no." I don't know that there
I
was
think if they
no like
spent
character development there. Like you just fully
right,
like
because if you're
frozen in
gone for four
time.
years in
Yeah, like
another
you would have
country, you're going to
changed,
be different.
but
You know,
nobody changed. They both just were frozen in time and came back and were like, "Yeah, let's be together." I was like,
Yeah, and I
"Oh,
think that's where the story fell flat because the character development went very well, like you said, up until maybe episode 5. And then, yeah, you can't leave characters stagnant, especially if they're going to go halfway across the world
yeah."
for
What's the
X
point of a
amount of
time jump
time.
if you're just gonna
Right,
have them act like the time jump didn't happen. So
right,
like, what's the
right.
point? Literally, what's the point?
Yeah, so and I think that's exactly where the show kind of messed up was right there. Because otherwise, if there was better character development after that, This could have been a solid 9 in my book out of
Oh,
10. It could
really?
have been.
I mean,
If
so wait, so what did you rate it? What did you rate it back in the
I
day?
think back then, I think I gave it a 6 or a 7 because overall, I
Mm.
liked the story.
Okay,
I
okay.
thought the editing was good. The acting was actually pretty good in itself. Certain things about the storytelling could have
Yeah, I
been
like the
done
two main
better.
actors. They acted really well. It's
Right.
just the writing. I was like, maybe this
Yeah.
needed more episodes
It
or
either needed more episodes, or if you're going to do a time jump, the main thing is it could have been fine if they had the characters change and they had to deal with how they were different, but there was
yeah.
still love there. That would have been fine. And also, we should have had them go to the wedding of the teacher since they were all
Yes, we needed
invited.
closure on that. We needed them to show
Right.
the teacher that they're a happy couple and it's like thank you for I don't know.
Right.
What for
I
whatever in the
I want to
end.
look on Reddit and see what people think because I have a feeling if the wedding is in Korea, more than likely he married a woman.
Ooh.
Doesn't mean he's not straight. Doesn't mean he's
Yeah,
straight.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Just
But
means he married a woman.
I don't think so. Not now. It's his gay ass.
Well, that's again, we're talking about Korea where
I
currently gay
know,
marriage is not legal.
but this.
So if you're going to, so if
Maybe he went to
anything,
Taiwan to get married. You never know.
well, he got married in Korea because the wedding invitation was for the wedding in Korea. So more than likely, he got married to a woman. Now, again, does this mean he's straight? No. Also, could mean also his wife may not be straight either. It could be a lavender wedding for all
That
we know.
too.
So, but we would have loved to see that, and it would have gave us some closure on, you know, did this? I mean, it would have given us closure to say, did this teacher actually like? I forgot his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
More than did he like the student more than a student, like more than he should, or was it really just pure favoritism because he's a smart kid and all of that? And we could say that he said that, right? But also as a teacher, he may have said that because it's highly inappropriate for an educator to do anything with a current student. Like
Of
it's
course, of course. I
very
mean, yeah, he was as a
inappropriate.
high school student.
So
Yeah,
even if
so
he
I would have
did
been
have feelings, he's not
jail
going to admit to it, right?
immediately
Because that's
jail.
going to put his job at jeopardy.
But
So, yeah,
yeah, I gave it a 5 out of 10. So
really,
sorry, sorry, not sorry.
really, especially considering we have other shows that are definitely worse that we've given fives
Ooh,
to.
hey, I don't know. In my,
I
it's a
think I
five out of
gave it
ten.
a.
It's a
I
five out
think
of
I
ten.
gave it a 6 though, and I would say it was very good up until that time jump where they
Yeah.
didn't. And again, I like time jumps. I don't mind it, but for it to be effective, there should have been a shift in how the characters developed because they had been apart for a long time, and that wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So, anywho, speaking of new jumps, let's jump to new shows.
Per.
So, one new show that we have, this is actually the first time, I think, ever in our history of Rye Can Top My
In
Knee.
our history, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, that we are talking about a Nigerian BL.
Yes.
So the show is called Delivery Guy. It came
Mm-hmm.
out on Friday, April 18th, and I believe it's coming out every Friday. I don't know how many episodes because it wasn't very clear on their YouTube channel, but the YouTube channel is called JFMTV. Um, one of our listeners sent us this maybe a month or two ago, and we reshared it and all of that. When I went to go see this, it already had over 5,000 views on YouTube.
Oh,
Let me just go ahead and double check to see how many it has now.
how long is the first episode? Have you seen it yet?
Yes, I did, and it's only about it's a 20-minute episode. Each
Okay,
episode I think is
okay.
going to be that long. Um, it's now at 35,000 views,
Ooh, wait.
and
So,
it's only
what did
been
you
out for 2
think?
days, huh?
So, so what are your first impressions?
Um, a lot of what I expected, right? I would say that.
I mean,
First, it is
it's A little
It's
twink
clearly
and a
low
delivery
budget.
boy.
Mm, It's clearly low budget.
Ooh.
Um, but there was an attempt to make it high budget.
Mm.
But you could tell that it's clearly low budget, which is not a surprise because if I'm not mistaken, they raised money for this as quickly as possible. And I think its intent was always to go straight to YouTube.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Also, I think for context, last year in there was legislation passed last year in Nigeria that if you produce any LGBTQ content, you can be fined X amount of money. So there's an effort to ban it, even though it doesn't seem as if it's being enforced at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Mm-hmm.
there. And knowing how things work in Nigeria, there's a likelihood of it only being enforced when someone's mad. And most Nigerians could care less, in my
Ooh.
opinion.
I mean, look at the
Um,
numbers already. This is getting, people want to
uh,
see this kind of content.
exactly. I
People
mean, in
want
2 days,
representation.
35,000 views. That's pretty good. The story itself, also, I think one of the guys is okay looking, the other one is fine.
Ooh, is the
Okay,
delivery guy fine? He better be
um,
fine.
he all right,
Oh
but the guy he
no.
delivers to is fine. That man, and I think you should go watch it because I don't want to spoil it too much.
Yeah, don't
I will
spoil it. I
say
want to see
though, go
this.
in with lower expectations.
Oh,
Okay, don't go in like super high because also you have to realize
it's a
there's
YouTube web
not a
series. Yeah,
it's a YouTube web
treat it like it
series,
is. Yeah.
right? And there's just not a lot of LGBTQ content being created in Nigeria, at least by mainstream production companies. The
Mhm.
mainstream production companies produce primarily comedies, rom-coms, and action. That's what they
Mhm.
mostly do. Um, or it's like some kind of family story or something like that.
Mhm.
Like that's what they mostly do.
So you think
Anything.
is this gonna be romance, or you think this is gonna be like a
Oh, it's
comedy,
definitely
or
romance. It's definitely romance with
is it a rom
some
com
comedy.
though? Is it
I think it's more romance than the comedy
okay?
part. I
Okay,
feel
it's
as
gonna
if
be like novella. It's gonna be very
I
drama.
would say this with a lot of, because I don't know how what Nigerian content you have watched. Me, I've watched a lot. Um
Definitely
and there's
seen.
always comedy somewhere,
Yeah,
even
they're
if
really
it's
funny
not meant.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, there's stuff that's intentionally
Beyonce.
comedy. Yeah, there's stuff that's intentionally
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
comedic, and then there's stuff that is unintentionally comedic. But in
Mhm.
general, Nigerians laugh at a lot of things. Like they even laugh at the government. Okay, so
Ooh.
it's having comedy is, I think, just a part of the culture in general. However,
Yeah.
do I think this show is intended to be a comedy? I think there are comedic elements, but I think it's more intended to be a dramatic romance.
Okay. Okay. So
So I would
it's
say
not a
watch
flirt
it.
milk. It's not a
It's
wig
not a
milk.
flirt milk. There are no wigs sitting halfway on somebody's head.
There's no booms in the shot.
There's no booms. Actually, I did not see a boom in the shot. I do
Okay.
think some of the
Okay.
editing needed some help with this. But again, unlike with Flirt Milk, where we feel as if it was very rushed, this I feel as if there was an attempt to take the time to do things, but also, again, I don't know how much funding they had considering it is LGBTQ content and
Mm,
considering the context around it.
mm,
But
mm.
it's worth watching. It's on YouTube, Fridays, JFMTV. That's the channel on
Okay.
YouTube.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And then the other show, which is coming out on Friday,
Mm.
the was that Friday? Oh, that's Saturday, excuse me.
Ooh.
Saturday, April 26th is Bangkok Boy, which is a Thai BL series on Gaga Ulala. Now, I don't know what this show is about, but I saw the cover art and I saw nipples, so I'm ready.
Oh my god. Yeah, this just popped up on my feed like a couple days ago. So I have
Hmm.
no knowledge of like the trailer or like
Right. And
I don't
I'm
know
gonna stay like
anything.
that. I don't want to hear him anything.
Ooh.
I want to hear nothing because I want to go straight into it, not knowing what I'm getting into. And hopefully it's like not going to be
It
whatever
looks
that
ooh.
it looks like it'll probably be good. I hope.
Yeah, the synopsis says gym owner and skilled fighter son who have been waiting for his day of vengeance ends up falling for Peach, a Korean man and the son of one who killed his father and friend. What?
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know
There's
what
a
that
lot
said,
already
but
happening.
it looks
Okay.
dramatic. It looks like it's gonna be full of action and fighting and
Mm.
some nipples. So,
Okay, and we love it. And I love it. Those nipples were nice. So,
oh my.
anyway, speaking of nice nipples, there is let's go talk about my current crush as we do a mid-season review of Lost in the Woods. Okay, so far, Jonathan, your voice has been sounding pretty good. I'm
Yay!
surprised.
Yay!
I'm surprised. And just as your voice is not lost, I am actually lost in the dreams of him and lost in the woods
Oh my
because that
god.
man is fine to me. Everything about him. I just want I want to be lost in his hole. I mean, what
Kevin,
about you, Jonathan?
not lost in his hole. That's gonna be title of episode. Lost in his hole. Um, you can have him. I don't want him. I low key
Yeah,
don't want him.
you want the child.
Not the child. I think he's like 18, 19. I don't know how old he is.
Yeah, in the show, he's 18, 19, but the actor is like
Yeah,
25.
the actor's
So,
like 25, 26. And him is like the actor is like 31 or something.
and he's the same age as his character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
But this show, like, it took me a minute to get into it. I know you saw it immediately when it came out.
Yeah, and
And
it's a
like a
slow
delayed
burn.
release.
Hmm.
Um, but this show's pretty good. I don't know. I like it.
Hmm.
It's such a break because it's a it's kind of like a not a wilderness BL. It's kind of like it's a break from all the office dramas, from all the city vibes. Like this is very I
Right.
was
It's
telling
very out
you,
and it's literally lost in the woods.
yeah, it's Lost in the
Literally.
Woods. Like I was saying to you, it was giving uh like Tales of a Thousand Star vibes.
In a way, yeah. If you think about it, you have the characters are not too different, because you
Mhm.
have someone who is, well, in this case, Hem is like a de facto park ranger, even though it's a private elephant reserve.
Yeah, he's still
And
like a
then
like a ranger to
and
protect
then he's
the
like
park.
very hard nosed and has a sharp tongue. And then
Mhm.
you have FIFA, who
FIFA.
is FIFA. Oh, that's right, FIFA, like
Yeah, yeah, like
like
soccer,
World
yeah.
Cup. So he's young, he's aloof in some ways, but not stupid.
Yeah, like he's supposed
He's
to be
just very
super smart,
spoiled.
but
Yeah,
he seems kind of like a little bit spoiled, like a spoiled city boy that like
right.
his dream is to go to Japan.
Right.
And I
And
was
his
like, go off,
grandmother
go
is the
off.
one who owns and runs the reserve.
Mhm.
And pretty much she is the moneymaker for the whole
For the whole
family.
fam. She said, "I pay for this house, I pay for your
Right. She said,
schooling,
I
I pay
pay
for that
for everything. She
guitar."
was like, I pay for everything in this motherfucker.
Yeah, I was
Okay?
like, "Damn, these
That's what she
parents got
said.
no like what do these parents do for a living that grandma
Live
is
off of
bankrolling?"
grandmama's wealth.
Yeah.
Something. So pretty much y'all who have watched the show, we're low key spoiling, but the premise of the show is
Mhm.
FIFA grandmother made a deal with him that he has to work at the reserve for 3 months, probably to get him to be less spoiled, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But also I think she low key wants to pass on the reserve to him at
Mhm.
some point because I mean she's not old. Like
She's
she
not
has to be
old,
maybe
but
she's
she
like maybe
said
60, but she's not like 80. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
But she wants
So
to keep it in the family and she's like hoping
right.
that he is going to love this elephant reserve. And so,
Just as much as she does.
yeah,
So, and then I think she did say after the 3 months she would help him fund his studies in Japan or
in
whatever.
Japan.
But he's trying to get a scholarship so then he doesn't have to rely on his grandmother's money too
Yeah,
much.
on Meemaw.
On Mima, right? Um,
On Ya, Kunya. Um,
hmm and also like I love, but Hem is fine, and the more you get to
Stop. He's
learn about him,
okay. Part of me is like
uh,
some episodes I'm like, is he wearing did they put like a little darker makeup on him?
you think so?
His face
I
is like
think
a little
sometimes
orangey. He's a little orangey.
he might have
You know,
a
like in
little bit
Tale
of
of a
spray
Thousand
tan, but I think
Stars,
he's naturally pretty dark.
I know, but I don't know. I'm just like maybe I shouldn't be comparing it to Tale of a Thousand Stars because Earth, like he didn't look painted darker. Like
No,
Pupa
and
looks
he was a
pretty
little
naturally
darker, but he
tan.
wasn't that. Yeah, and he's naturally tan.
But
That's true.
him look, I don't know. He looking a little face looking a little orange. Maybe it's just the makeup
But
department.
also, I could be. I will say that you probably noticed this in the show. It's a little. The colors are a little saturated, so it could be
Mm,
that too. So whoever
maybe,
is doing the
maybe.
color correcting and post production might have left things a little saturated. And if you're someone of a darker hue, like either of us, if you oversaturate, we start looking, you know.
we start looking at certain colors.
Right.
Um,
So that part of me is thinking like maybe it does look
maybe
a
just the
little
makeup on him.
oversaturated at times. Could be
Yeah,
the makeup.
but
Sometimes I do think he looks like he's wearing eyeliner.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, who did
Yeah.
him dirty? Cause
Yeah. Because
FIFA
I'm like,
looks
you're now
good.
out in the woods rugged like this,
Yeah, I would
wearing
think he would look
eyeliner.
more rugged, like Earth in Tale of a Thousand Stars. Like
Right.
he
Or more
was
like how
very
Earth looked in
bland,
Moonlight
very.
Chicken.
Ooh.
Because he was dark. I think he was darker
Oh,
in
he was.
Moonlight Chicken.
Yeah, he was like painted a
Yeah.
little darker, probably more like chicken, or maybe he
No,
tanned darker.
well, for
Yeah,
Moonlight Chicken, he said he was tanning a lot.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Loki, maybe him has been, maybe, well, that's not his real name.
Ooh,
What's the actor's name? Is it,
I think his real name is. It might be Arm. Let me check.
it's something like that.
Something
It,
like that.
it's something that ends with an M.
Yeah, his name's Arm.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know if he went out and tanned as well for this role, but he's also someone that's naturally darker
Mm.
anyway. So he might have tanned a little bit more, so he looks outdoorsy. And also too, really the only people in this show that are pale is like Grandma,
No,
FIFA, his
grandma not
parents,
pale.
compared to everybody else in this show. And oh,
Um,
and that one girl in the kitchen
yeah,
and her
yeah,
mom. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Everybody else is like dark.
Oh yeah, the locals
Everybody,
that are actually working. Yeah.
right. Everybody else is like dark. Everybody on the farm, on this reserve is dark. Everybody but those folk. And then
It'd
him.
be like that.
And that's it.
It'd be like
So
that, yeah. But yeah, this
yeah.
show is very much like Tale of a Thousand Stars vibes. And it even has like Naman, who was in Tale of a Thousand Stars too. Like he played the
Mm-hmm.
doctor over there, and here
Mm-hmm.
he's playing like another park ranger. And I was low
Yes.
key like, maybe he could have been him. You know what I mean? He could be my him.
Mm,
You
well,
know?
low key, I'm loving this actor. His
He need to play
acting is
gay.
arm is yeah, Namon does need to play gay sometime. Well, yeah, you know what? I keep getting him confused with the actor in oh
Why?
gosh.
Because he was in the
Uh
rebound. Remember, he was a little
yes,
fruity
he
in the
was in the
rebound.
rebound, that's right. But the one that I get him confused with that time is the actor that plays one of the side characters in Jack and Joker. That's with the rich. I get them confused all the time, even though I know they're not the same
Wait,
actor.
who?
He's the one that he's in the ship in Jack and Joker
Mm-hmm.
where they like each other, but they keep pretending they don't like each other.
Oh, like Mark and the other guy, Mark and like Boone, is that his
Yeah,
name is?
and it's like
You think it looks like him?
I get them confused. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean,
Even
Naman
though they
built
don't
though.
look
Naman
alike,
built.
I get them confused.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
What's the guy's name? His name is. Yeah, Prom. Mark
Yes,
and Prom.
prom. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um,
Yes. So I get them. I get prom
Prom confused
and
with.
Namon. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I don't know why. I just do. But I know they're two different people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
But
Also, the one thing we got to mention about the show, which we already talked about, there's a considerable age gap.
I know this is the low key like the worst part of the show is that there's
Yeah,
this crazy
because
age
it's
gap.
kind of cringe.
Because they treat FIFA like a baby. Like he doesn't
Yes,
seem
because
like a baby. Like he's
but
just like not
well,
a
I think
you
they
know.
treat him like that because he acts like that.
Well, he acts like a city boy that's never had to get his hands dirty. You know.
Right. Yeah,
And
but
like I would
also
too.
I think
Also like
even
mess
when he
up.
was a city boy, he was a little spoiled. And also he's
Well,
kind of
he wanted to be a
hard-headed.
rock star. So like you see like
Well,
his
and
nails are painted, like
well, he wants to be
his
an artist. He
clothing. Yeah, he
draws,
wants to be an artist too. So I think they also kind of shit on that by being like, oh, like you're a little preppy boy that doesn't want to get his hands dirty and
Right.
I'm like, he's just his style's different.
Right. But
Sorry, he's
also,
not a
I think
bland.
yeah, he's definitely not bland at all. I
Yeah.
feel as if, though, he also was very resistant to wanting to do anything. Like the first time he got on the reserve, he's like, I don't feel like doing this shit. I ain't gonna do it.
I mean,
And it's
cause
like
yeah,
when you
if my
go in with
grandma
that
was
kind of
forcing me too, I'd be
yeah.
like, damn, I don't want to
But if
do
you go in
this.
with that attitude, of course, you're bound to mess things up.
He said it's
But you could
hot.
tell, yeah, he's like, it's hot,
It
all
smelled like
that.
elephant shit.
And of course it did. I mean, elephants all over the place, and I think
He almost killed a
what,
man.
yes, and I think that's what really he was like, I need to take this seriously or someone could die. Because,
Yeah.
he's not a bad person.
No,
It's
he's not a
just,
bad
he's
person.
not
I
a
mean,
bad
that whole
person at
food
all.
system was kind of like, y'all need a better way to do this.
Yeah. But they explained it to him and he was half listening because he didn't really want to do it anyway. He
I mean,
wasn't
that's a lot
taking
of
it
names to remember
seriously.
too. I'd be like,
It's a
come,
lot of,
come get y'all food. What are y'all names?
yeah. But I
Um,
think what he should have done was at least take a note, something, so then he could
yeah, I was like,
remember
you
for
have
the
a
first.
phone. Why are you
But he
not?
wasn't doing that because he wasn't taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And he didn't start taking it seriously until he almost killed somebody. Um, so I think, and also like he got chewed out by him. Like him chewed
As he
him the fuck
should.
out, as he should
Yeah,
have
as he
been,
should. As he
you
should.
know, and made that boy cry.
Uh, he's a pretty
Yeah.
crier though. He's a very pretty crier.
Yes.
Um,
And then we got to see in the most recent episode, okay, here's a spoiler. We got to see him cry.
I
Like he was kind
know.
of drunk crying, but also like,
Yo, he was throwing it back. I was like,
right.
he's a crazy alcoholic.
Yeah, like he needed to stop that drinking because he was doing it to numb the pain. And it's interesting how FIFA was telling him, maybe you need to calm it down with the drinking.
He said, "You telling me about my issues with Japan, but you got ex girlfriend issues, buddy."
Right. You need to calm that down, And that ex-girlfriend is trying to get back with him, I guess.
I
So,
don't know what's gonna
you
happen. We
know,
have
it's
two
also kind
episodes
of,
left. We have two
we
episodes
do.
left, y'all, and I don't even know if it's gonna end up being a BL. Do you think so?
I think it will.
You
And you
think
know
they're
what's
gonna
crazy?
kiss at the end?
I think so.
It could be a we like each other, but or maybe they might do like a time jump where like he actually does go to Japan, and they time jump and he comes back, and then that's how they end up being together. Very Tales of a Thousand Stars, you know.
Maybe. Could be a
Because
could be
Tale
a
of a Thousand
time
Stars was
jump.
also a they had an age gap. I think Mitz's character,
Yeah, but the age
he
gap
was like a post
wasn't.
grad though. He was like probably
Yeah,
like
he was like in
21.
his mid 20. He was
I think he was like
mid.
21.
I think he was more like 22, 23. But
And
whatever.
then yeah, Pupa was like 30.
You're right.
Um
Like I think that was kind of it. Um, do we really only have two? Oh, that's right.
I
So
know,
that's right. It's
sadly.
only 7 episodes.
But
That's
y'all should
right.
watch the show. It's really good.
Yes, so you should. You should get into it. It is really good. Before it ends, you can watch it on Gaga Ulala, and it comes out on Wednesdays. So get into it. Get your life. Get your lost in the woods
Get
life.
lost in that hole.
Get lost in that hole, Hem's
Ew.
hole.
Ew. No, 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 no.
Hem's. I'm pretty sure it looks like a forest down there too.
Hey.
Anyway.
Hey.
Anyway, so okay, so Jonathan, before we go, since we're talking about going into the woods, not Hem's
Mm-hmm.
woods, but woods in general,
I can't.
what are the 5 things you would take in the woods with you?
Into Hem's woods. A weed whacker, right? A weed whacker.
No, we can. I personally like a forest.
Oh my.
I don't want to see it wax down there. I do not want to be thinking of someone who's prepubescent. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's gross. Let me see the fur.
I
Okay. Let me make
can't.
sure I know you
Boots
of
with the
age.
fur? Boots with the fur?
Oh no, we don't do that anymore. Anywho, what are the
um,
5 things you would take with you?
I mean, first off, like a first aid kit. Cause I know
Very necessary.
I'll be tripping and falling in.
You sure would be.
Um and then I need some baby wipes to wipe my ass.
Yes, because we listen. I was
Swamp
talking.
ass in the middle of the
So,
woods, y'all?
well,
No.
let me
No
tell you
ma'am.
this. Yesterday, I was hanging out with Liz, and you were supposed to join us, but unfortunately, you've been sickly wickly,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Liz and I were saying how we love food. When we travel, we need to eat. Like that should be at the center of traveling because you got to eat anyway to
Mm-hmm.
survive, right? And Jonathan, you're the same way. You like food as much as we do.
Damn,
So
you
if you
said your
like food a
bag just
lot,
as big, right?
right. So if you like food, of course you're gonna need something to wipe your ass
I
because
can't.
as if it's going in one way, it has to go out the other,
Uh-huh.
right? So gotta wipe your ass. You can't be out here with
You gotta
swamp
keep
boo
it
boo.
squeaky.
Yeah, you gotta keep it squeaky clean because you don't want to be having swamp ass with doo doo. That is not a
I
look.
can't.
Not a
Yes,
look.
yes.
What else?
Um, what else am I bringing? A satellite phone. I
Oh,
don't know.
a
I wanna be able to
satellite
call.
phone.
Yeah, girl, I gotta leave. I gotta find my way out. I
You
gotta
gotta
call
call
911.
Uber.
Yo, Uber, I'm here. Pick me up.
What else?
What else? What else? I put one of those life straws. Have you seen those ads
Oh, I
where it's like, I don't
have.
know if that's still a thing, but like there's like this life straw that'll like
I think they're still
filter.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it filters anything. So like you can like dip it in like a muddy river, a muddy lake or something, a muddy
And then
pond.
what comes out of the other end of the straw is fresh water,
Yeah,
like
it like
very,
might not
very
look
filtered
fresh, but like
water.
it's filtered drinkable water.
Right.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I got that.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, a hot, sexy man to hold at night when it gets
Oh,
cold.
so Steven is gonna go camping with you? You saying
Oh,
that for
who
real?
said that? Who said names?
I'm just saying, like, really? Because I can't even see Steven camping anywhere.
And that's why I didn't say him. So,
Uh,
anyways, I said, "Where's my poopa?"
oh, okay. And with that said, that is it for this episode of Rye Can Top My Knee. Hems hole, my knee, fill in the blanks.
Oh my god! Well, I hope the rye in your life gets lost in that knee, baby.
Yes.